Welcome to Making a Difference, AVPride's TV series on underage drinking. I'm your host, T. Michael Body. Today we're going to address the rising problem in the United States that is underage drinking. And we're going to take a deeper look into the reasons why teenagers drink with different guests and activities. And it's going to be really interesting and really fun. We hope you stick around after these messages.
Make a difference. Prevent underage drinking.
Mom, why are you drinking so much?
I'm the grown-up. I can do what I want.
No, I hate you.
Every year, over 900,000 children are abused by alcoholic parents. More than 10 million people ages 12 to 20 confessed to underage drinking in 2012. Annually, more than 1.3 million women are sexually taken advantage of while intoxicated. Drinking has consequences that affect more than just you. Next time, think about it.
For more information, go to www.didyouknowfacts.net.
Did you know that in Georgia, 34% of high school students had at least one drink of alcohol in the last 30 days? However, in Fayette County, 57% of students had at least one drink of alcohol in the last 30 days. So, Fayette County is 23% higher than the state average. Think, don't drink.
Welcome back to Making a Difference. I'm your host, T. Michael Body, and with me I have a very special guest, psychologist Dr. Susan May. Thank you for coming, Dr. May.
Thank you for having me, T. Michael. It's a pleasure to be with AVPride in this important discussion.
Now, if you could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
I'm a clinical psychologist, and over the years I've had the chance to work with kids and teens in settings from schools and community centers, and now at a clinical psych practice, a New Start Counseling Center in Fayetteville, which allows me to see a lot of kids and teens dealing with a wide range of issues.
Underage drinking would be included in such issues, of course, right?
Actually, quite often, yeah.
Come on, everybody, relax. Have some wine, listen to some music. Have a blast.
Hello and welcome back to Making a Difference. Right now we're just going to have a little group discussion, and we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves.
Hello, I'm Tania.
I'm Satika. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Alec.
And I'm your host, T. Michael Body. Now let's get this started. Thanks for being here, guys. I got just a few questions for you. First one, do you think that peer pressure is a big issue with teenagers today?
Yes, I would think so. Because peer pressure is everywhere, and especially in teenagers, since we're talking about underage drinking. And if, for example, if my friends are drinking and I'm the only one who's not drinking there, my conscience would tell me that they don't like me or I wouldn't fit in, so I would probably go ahead and drink with them. So I'm pretty sure like peer pressure is a big factor.
I feel like it's large today, although it's very unspoken and it's not necessarily something that you see. So nowadays it's not really a spoken type, drink this or like go do this or else we're not going to be friends with you. Like you can't sit with us. But I feel like it's more like a mental thing that the person imposes.
Welcome to Making a Difference, AVPride's TV series on underage drinking. My name is Kyle Blygen, and today's show and topic will be providing alcohol to minors, access and availability. Today, I am joined by Mrs. Blygen, a mother of two and a very concerned parent. So, Mrs. Blygen, what do you believe the role of a responsible parent is in the household?
I believe the role of a responsible parent in the household is to love their children unconditionally, protect them, teach them right from wrong, guide them, encourage them, impart the right things into them, be an example before them, and to teach them to be independent thinkers. So when they're out, they know, what decisions they should make for themselves. And we should also show them the pitfalls of life. We should also be transparent with our children as well. And we should also let them know that the decisions that they make impact the family, not just themselves.
There's a big pull. Society tells us to drink, but our parents are telling us not to. So I urge you to stay tuned for more of this conversation, and maybe you can join the debate. So stay tuned for our panel discussion after this break. Thank you.
Did you know in Fayetteville and Peachtree City, the top 2 places that underage drinkers get alcohol are from non-family members who give it to them, or by paying someone to get their alcohol? Think, don't drink.
Make a difference. Prevent underage drinking.
Glass and steel flew everywhere. My whole body seemed to be turning inside out. I heard myself scream.
17% of binge drinkers are teenagers. Drinking kills dreams.
Suddenly, I was awakened. It was very quiet. A police officer was standing over me. My body was mangled. I was saturated in blood. Pieces of glass were sticking out all over.
Nearly 72% of students have consumed alcohol by the end of high school, and 37% by 8th grade. Drinking kills dreams.
Strange that I couldn't feel anything. Hey, don't pull that sheet over my head. I can't be dead. I'm only 17.
Young people who drink are more likely to be involved in self-destructive behaviors. Drinking kills dreams.
I'm waiting for you.
For more information, go to www.didyouknowfacts.net.
And we're back. And last time we had a panel discussion, we talked about the morality versus the media. Now, as you've seen with the previous interview from Mrs. Blygen, we got a glimpse at what parents, responsible parents, thought about social hosting. Now, it's the youth of America's turn.
Going off what she was saying, how some parents think that it's better for their child to drink when it's in their house, that might give them like a false consent to go out and drink, even though the parent just only wants them to be drinking in their house. And I think there's a law that says that's okay in Georgia, as long as the teen is in the house and the parent provided the alcohol to their child. I think that's okay. I don't know about that. I just heard about that somewhere, I think.
Welcome to Making a Difference, AVPride's TV series on underage drinking. My name is Kyle Blygen, and today the title of the show will be The Costs and Consequences, Family, Finance, and Freedom. Today I'll be discussing the costs and consequences of alcohol and its effects on minors drinking under the age. I will be discussing these topics with Judge Stephen Ott and attorney Catherine Sanderson. After that, I'll be followed by a panel discussion of 4 AVPride members. All of this will be coming up after the break, so stay tuned.
Facebook helps Albany police break up a pretty big underage drinking party. Saturday night, police discovered about 300 people crammed inside 556 Washington Avenue for a party. 3 UAlbany students are now facing charges, including serving alcohol to minors and underage drinking. Police told us that not only was underage drinking a problem there, there was also a pretty big concern about this all being a major fire hazard.
I am joined here by Ms. Catherine Sanderson. She is a family attorney that operates out of Fayette County. So, Ms. Sanderson, what are some of the problems that you see teens and minors facing when they engage in underage drinking?
Well, there's legal consequences and there's social and family consequences. And as a family lawyer, I handle both. I've seen criminal consequences for youth ranging from just loss of a driver's license, probation, monitoring, that sort of thing. I've seen youth, as I was telling you before the break, I've seen youth who have gone to prison, all related to choices they made involving alcohol.
Now, many individuals like myself and my peers, we look at the judicial system as individuals who are out to get us. But you have been in the field for some time, and you obviously have some connection to the cases that you've been in. So can you please tell not only me, but the individuals who may be viewing the show, what your personal views are on individuals drinking under the age? Should they defer their option, or should they completely not drink whatsoever?
What I try to encourage young people to do is I'm well aware that any of us that here don't or know do not respond well to that. So what I ask of young people would be to defer the decision until you're old enough to make it. The state law imposes the age of 21. There's actually science behind that age. It wasn't randomly selected. At the age of 21, you may be better able to make the choice. Better yet, you may be better able to avoid the unintended consequences because your maturity level may be better.
Did you know youth who drink alcohol are 7.5 times more likely to use any illicit drug and 50 times more likely to use cocaine than young people who never drink alcohol? Think, don't drink.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. As you can see, I am joined by 4 AVPride members and we will begin our discussion now. I am joined by Dominique, Aaron, Taylor, and Tania. The first question is for Tania. Tania, you've seen the video. Why do you believe that individuals our age do not fear the consequences as much as they should?
I feel as though teenagers do not fear the consequences as much as they should is because the consequences do not directly impact their lives. Rather, it impacts the parents' lives, their parents' wallet, or whether they have to drive them around. So the teenager is still kind of in the mindset like, oh, like it doesn't bother me because the money doesn't come out of my pocket, and just because I don't have to do it, like drive myself, well, I'll just get somebody else. So the burden doesn't fall directly on them, it falls on another extended party.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Satika Saman.
And I'm T. Michael Body, and welcome back to another episode of Making a Difference, AVPride's TV series on underage drinking. On today's show, we're going to discuss the issue of social hosting. What is it? Who does it? And what are some of the social and legal problems that it can cause?
To answer these and other questions, we have video presentations from 2 of Fayette County's top legal professionals, and they're going to share with us the views and laws associated with social hosting. First, we'll hear from Fayette County's District Attorney, Scott Ballard.
And then Fayette County Detective Scott Israel will shed more light on the problems of social hosting. Let's start with Fayette County District Attorney Scott Ballard.
Hi, I'm Scott Ballard. Since 2005, I've been the District Attorney for the Griffin Judicial Circuit, which includes Fayette County, but also Spalding, Pike, and Upson counties. I'm a lifelong resident of Fayette County and practiced law with my dad in Fayetteville for the 19 years before I became DA. I think it's important that we start by talking about what the law says about underage drinking. The legislature has decided, for lots of good reasons that were well studied in advance, that it should be illegal for people under the age of 21 to possess alcoholic beverages, and it's also illegal for other people to furnish alcohol to people who are under the age of 21. Now, note that I said possession. It's not ownership that's at question. Sometimes we'll have people come in and say, well, it wasn't my beer. Well, that's really not at issue. It's the possession of the beer. Possession can be in 2 types. It can be actual possession, which means I've got it in my hand or it's in my pocket or in my purse, or it can be constructive possession, which means I know that it's there and I have the ability to control it. So if it's out there in the middle of the table, I might be in possession of it even though I'm not holding it. Similarly, you can be in possession of alcohol because it's in your stomach, inside your body. That can be a form of possession. And then finally, I think people need to know that there's such a thing as joint possession. One beer can be in the middle of the table with 3 people around possessing it jointly, and they're all guilty of the violation. So what is social hosting? Social hosting is where you throw a party and you invite people to your house and you serve alcohol. Now that's to be distinguished from people who go to a bar to get their alcohol.
Well, T. Michael, Mr. Ballard gave us lots of interesting facts.
He did, and interesting opinions.
Yeah. Do you agree with all of them?
I do, for the most part. I really liked what he said about how he imagines that most kids do support social hosting, but the problem with that would be, like he said, there can be strained relationships between the kids and the parents, and it could, especially those that disapprove of their children's drinkings. And so I think it could cause some major problems when you actually furnish alcohol in your home, whether you think it's safe or not, like as opposed to the commercial selling of it. I think of course that's the position that a lot of parents will take, is that, well, it's safer if they're doing it in the home, but it's still not.
It's not that safe.
What matters is the law.
Yeah. And also appearing on the show via video is Detective Scott Israel. Detective Israel is with Criminal Investigation Division of Fayetteville's Police Department. His specialty is investigating gang and juveniles. Let's see what he has to say about the problems of social hosting.
Yes, a story that comes to mind about social hosting was an incident that happened a couple of years ago when a mother decided to have a party at her house and allow all the juvenile kids to come to her house. These were teenagers. And as they came to the house, she would supply alcohol. Some of the kids would bring their own alcohol. She was also collecting their car keys and putting them into a bowl. And as they were putting them into the bowl, they would go downstairs and they would do what they were doing to have fun at the party by drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. And one of the kids, after he was highly intoxicated, decided that he wanted to go ahead and leave the party for that night. So he had a spare key. So therefore he goes out, he gets in his car, and he leaves the party. 4 miles away from his house, he wrecks the car, flips the car, and kills himself. Parents, I want you to understand, you need to be a parent and not a friend.
I love how Mr. Israel said, are you going to have the same opinion about your kids having sex or snorting cocaine or shooting heroin? I totally agree on that. If you can't control or just little alcohol, how are you going to make decisions in life like control when you're
Welcome to Making a Difference, AVPride's TV series on underage drinking. I'm Kylie Reed, and here with me today I have Corinne New. Miss New, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. We're going to be talking about sexual assault as it relates to alcohol consumption. We'll be right back after this break.
Did you know underage drinking increases the risk of carrying out or being a victim of sexual assault? Think, don't drink.
What is your take on the blame game? Whose fault is it if both the boy and the girl were both intoxicated?
Okay, in a situation like that, the responsibility falls to the person who would have more power and control in the situation. So
which would be the male.
Normally that's the male, just physically. And so it's very important for boys and men to be educated how to take cues, because sometimes a person might not fight you because they're intimidated to fight. So consent is a person saying yes.
Right.
And that's it. So just because they didn't say no, that does not mean yes.
And that's usually most guys' excuses. They didn't say no, right?
Exactly. And so people really need to talk to their kids about it, and people need to understand that consent is being fully aware of your actions.
Did you know 89% of female sexual assault victims who were passed out at a party reported drinking alcohol before their victimization? Think, don't drink.
Welcome back. We're going to be watching a short video called Let's Stop Blaming the Victim. And then afterwards, we're going to have a short discussion with our second guest, Miss Audra Luke.
It felt great going out in that dress. I saw him, fancied him straight away. He bought me a drink and we started flirting. I thought he was lush. We got close on the dance floor and had a few more drinks.
She said yes to a drink easily enough. She was all over me. She wasn't holding back on those shots.
Then he asked if he could walk me home. I was well chuffed, you know.
She let me walk her home. Back for coffee. You know.
I was really looking forward to spending time with him alone, just the two of us.
I thought she might like it if I took control.
A kiss and a cuddle, yeah, but that was all I'd wanted. I'd never wanted it to go that far. And
Rape, sexual assault. Let's stop blaming the victim. Visit stopblame.org.
Welcome back to Making a Difference. Here with me, we have special guest speaker, Audra Luke. How are you, Miss Audra?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I surely can. I'm an attorney, but I gave up law to work with incarcerated teens, kids in middle school, high school, and nonprofit organizations that are team-based as well, teaching them their rights, because a lot of them don't even know that they have rights, legally or other. And also to teach them life skills and things of that nature, just so that they could become adults who were more in tune with living life responsibly.
Make a difference. Prevent underage drinking.
Mr. Alcohol, how do you feel about yesterday's convention?
Oh, it was great. Really successful.
Mr. Alcohol,
do you know there's a 14-year-old boy with permanent brain damage? You make it seem like everything will be better, but in the end, you make it worse. So why should you continue voting for you?
What? That's crazy. I changed lives.
Did you know that there is now a teenager handicapped due to drunk driving?
Look, if there is a problem, it's the young people. I don't vote for myself, you know. Am I right or what?
Yeah, you are. Vote no for alcohol. We, the students of Lovejoy High School, disapprove of Mr. Alcohol's message.
For more information, go to www.didyouknowfacts.net.
Did you know youth who drink alcohol commonly engage in sexual intercourse when drinking, have sexual experiences at an earlier age, have sex with multiple partners, experience unexpected pregnancies, and contract sexually transmitted diseases than youth who do not drink? Think. Don't drink.
Thank you all so much for joining us as we ventured into the world of sexual assault as it relates to alcohol consumption. I want to thank my two special guests, Ms. Corinne New and Ms. Audra Luke, for helping us better understand the consequences of underage drinking. Please join us again next time on Making a Difference.
Welcome to Making a Difference, AVPride's TV series on underage drinking. Hi, I'm Morgan Sumter, and I will be your host today. Today's topic is all about binge drinking. Here with me now to talk about that is Dr. Colin Dirks, and later on we'll have a panel with 3 AVPride members themselves. We'll be right back after this break.
Make a difference. Prevent underage drinking.
Mom, why are you drinking so much?
I'm the grown-up. I can do what I want.
No, I hate you.
Every year, over 900,000 children are abused by alcoholic parents. More than 10 million people ages 12 to 20 confessed to underage drinking in 2012. Annually, more than 1.3 million women are sexually taken advantage of while intoxicated. Drinking has consequences that affect more than just you. Next time, think about it.
For more information, go to www.didyouknowfacts.net.
All right, we're back, and here with me now is Dr. Colin Dirks, who is a board-certified ER physician at Piedmont Fayette. Today we're going to be discussing a couple of things about binge drinking, so I'm just going to go on ahead and say, how are you doing today?
Great, thanks for having me, Morgan.
You're welcome. So do you have a specific definition of what binge drinking is? Like, what actually is it?
You bet. In 2004, the NIAA, the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, came out with an official definition for binge drinking. And they define it as a pattern of drinking that increases your blood alcohol concentration to or above the legal limit of 0.08 in a 2-hour period. Now, for the average adult male, that's 5 drinks in 2 hours. For the average adult female, 4 drinks in 2 hours. For adolescents or somebody of smaller stature, that can be as few as 2 or 3 drinks in that same time period.
8% of teenage pregnancies happen when the girl is drunk. Does that surprise you, that stat?
No, that doesn't surprise me.
Why?
When the girls are drunk and the guy starts to push it to that limit, the alcohol gave you the liquid courage to start, but not to stop.
All right, here with me now I have Asia, Aaron, and Taylor. And so basically, after watching that video, what would you do if you were put in that situation?
I think honestly I would have done what everyone else done, but then I would think about what exactly that would do to me and the outcomes that would come, and I would not do it.
Me, I just know who I am, and I know I'm not the kind of person to do something I'm not supposed to. I like to be in control of my actions. I need to know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to partake of alcohol because I know it's going to mess up my mind. And like my parents have a strong influence over me, and I know it's wrong for me, so I'm going to live up to their expectations.
For me, I would just try not to give in to peer pressure because I know that people say, like, we all say that we're not going to do it, but peer pressure is one thing that causes people to drink.
Alrighty, thank you guys for joining me on the show and the panel today. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Colin Dirks for joining us and giving us his insight and knowledge as well. I now have a call to action for all of you guys in the audience and at home. For you teens, how will you influence your peers not to consume alcohol, let alone binge drink? And for you parents, how will you prevent your child from not drinking as well? For more information, please visit avpride.org.